Okay, so hello everyone. Hello, sir. Today I'm going to be discussing about the racetrack game, which is part of my projects. So, what is a racetrack game? So, a racetrack game, it is a paper and a pencil game that simulates a car race. So, if you are familiar with like racing car, like Formula One or horse racing, then this is quite the same. It is also played by two or more players. And how to play this is basically the game is played on a square sheet of paper with a pencil line tracking each car movement. And the rule represent a car with a certain inertia and physical limit on traction. Resulting the line is reminiscent of how real racing car move. And the racetrack game is actually popular as an educational tool teaching directors. So let's move on to talk about the game instruction of playing the racetrack game. So first one is by acceleration and deceleration rule. So by acceleration and deceleration rule means that whenever you make a move on this, like this is the graph example, so you can either decrease or increase. So acceleration means increase, deceleration means decrease. And each new grid point and the line segment connecting to the previous grid point must lie entirely within the track. So second rule is basically, let me get this pen. So whenever you make your next move, you make sure each of them must connect to each other. Each one of them must connect to one another. Each move connect to the previous move. Like for example, if you move this, you must connect it here, here, etc. But this is how it works. And the third rule, so each move is related to the previous move. So if the player is gonna move the X unit horizontally or the Y unit vertically on only one move. So by this rule, which means that whenever you are making a move, you only either decrease or increase only by the value of one. That's how the game works. So if you move to the horizontal X, you can either move like X minus one or X plus one. You move the vertical move, you can either like Y minus one or Y plus one. So let's take this example. The example like your starting point is 0, 0. And then you make your first move is 0, 1. Then your second move is 0, 2. So by applying the third rule, so basically if you are moving to the right, so you are actually moving by only the value of 1. So example, you want to move to this direction. So this is the direction of the X. So you can only increase it by 1. If you go to this direction to the left, which means you are in the minus X. So like for example, minus 1, and you're gonna keep the same speed of y over 2. So minus 1, 1, 2. This is how the third rule works. So let's say if you want to continue to turn right, so you're gonna decrease this. No, so yeah, from 0 back to 0, but keeping the value decreasing to 1 deceleration. And you want to turn right 1. So basically what I'm doing is whenever I want to move to the left or the right, I can only increase or decrease by only the value of 1. 1, 2. So I'm moving to the X direction by 1 and up 1, 2. This is how the third rule actually works. So let's move on to talk about the fourth rule. So the fourth rule says that no two players may not occupy the same grid point on the same turn. So basically, when you are playing the racetrack game, you are actually playing with two people. Okay, so let's assume your player with the red line, so it's 0, 0, your starting point. So you're gonna make your first move is actually 0, 1. Basically, everything you're gonna do is only increase or decrease by 1. Second one is you're gonna keep doing this 0 and 1 again. So 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. So what if the second player? So let's say the starting point 0, 0, but they're making the next move by minus 1, 1. Let's assume it start from here. To make it easy to do the demonstration. So minus 1, 1. And what if his second move is minus 2 and keeping the same by speed at 1, 1, 2. And let's say his third move, the same move as the red. Let's say he's decreasing by only 1. So minus 1 and 1. So this is the same grid point that those two players are occupying each other. So by the fourth rule, so no two player may not occupy the same grid point by the same turn. So in this situation, if they collide, which means that they are either both crash out or eliminated. If you compare this to the real life racing, so if these two hit each other, which means they are actually crashing to each other, means they are now eliminated. But if this player collide on the same move, but they are just crossing path, like for example, crossing in this direction. So which means it's okay to cross path with each other, but you must not occupy on the same grid point. Let's say this is the same grid point, the red, but if you manage to hit with the same grid point, which means that you are both now hitting each other, leading to the elimination. So, and by the fifth rule, player who collide with other player or hitting the track is automatically eliminated. So by hitting the track, so let's assume that this side of the corner here is a track. So if, for example, you are making your move starting from here upward, and then let's say your track is allowing you to turn right, but somehow you made the wrong move and you manage to hit the track, which means that it is also clear that you are actually hitting the track, leading to the elimination as well. So this is how the fifth rule works. So let's move to the next graph. So this is basically like a real example of how the racetrack actually is in real life. This is how people racing car is. So assume that this black car is you. Let's say that you are riding this car. Let's say that your starting point is from here, 0, 0. So the goal for you is to make sure you must finish all of this road and make sure to finish first if you are playing with another player. So by now I decide to increase my value by 1. So by the rule, you can only increase it by 1. Let's say I decide to speed it up. So I'm increasing my speed by 2. And now I'm just keep increasing. Minus 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So minus 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So at this point, so at this point, I decided I need to slow down my engine in order to make sure I'm not hitting the track. So I make sure I can uh like move to the left as quick as possible if I'm racing with another player. So but at this point, I think that I'm actually too late. So no matter each point I'm moving, it's now gonna lead me to the elimination. So be careful whenever you are playing this game. So you must think carefully of every next move you are making. So let me do as a demonstration. Let's see, I'm decreasing my speed to 5, but I increasing the speed by 1. So minus 5. So minus 1. So minus 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Minus 4, minus 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then -3, -3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So as you can see what I'm doing here, so if you actually making the wrong move, it could actually lead you to an elimination by yourself while you are actually hitting the track, which according to the game instruction means that you are actually eliminated. So what about the scenario for the second player? Let's see that the second player also moving like this, but they are trying to find a way to not touch with your line. So by the fourth rule I mentioned earlier, if if the two players collide on the same grid point, they could crash or leading to elimination. But if they manage to actually cross the line without hitting the grid point, which means that it is okay to cross path with each other. So which means that they are actually not gonna crash and it's okay to continue the race. So basically this is how it works. So if saying all this, you might actually gonna ask like, what if the two player actually finish the race on the same turn? So let me get back to this graph. What if they actually finish on the same turn? So okay, so I'm gonna use screen. So 0, 0. So what if, so let's say I'm making my move by -1. No, 0 and 1. See, I'm moving here. And my next move is -1, 2. My next move is 0, 3. And then my next move is 1, 2. I'm increasing this and decreasing this. So 1, 2, and then 0, 2. So 0 and 2. And what about the red turn? Let's say starting point is 0, 0. And then his next move is 0, 1, the same. And his next move is 0, 2. Next move is 1, 2. And then his next move is also 1 and 2 again. And then his fifth move is 0, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Say now they are actually on the fifth turn. That's now what about the sixth turn? Sixth turn. About 0, 3. 1, 2, 3. Then seventh turn. No, let's not talk about seventh turn yet. So what about the green? It's making his sixth move. So how about 0, 3? 0, 2. Let's just keep it 0, 2 again. 0, 3. So what if the red player decided to increase by one more time? So 0 and 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And what if the green player decide to make his next move by only decreasing by the value of 1? So in a scenario where both of them finish the race on the same turn, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you look at this, we take the person who reaching the finish line as the farthest is the winner. So as you can see, the red line actually finished more further than the green. So we assume that the red is the winner of this racetrack. So let's take a look at another example, which is I got from the book. So from the book, it shows us a demonstration of the racetrack in real life. So there are two players here, A and B. So as you look at here, so A actually maintaining the speed correctly. So they are actually all apply on the same turn. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like the two of them have the same 10 move together, but as you can see here, you see that the player A managed to finish the line first. Because why? Because he or she or something actually maintain their speed correctly. You can see from the A, they're starting off like quite fast a bit, and then by this point, A decided to slow down the engine, slow down in order to make the correct turn in order not to hit the track. And as by the time they hitting this point, they decide to keep increasing the speed furthermore, and then they actually get to the finish line for the black. So if you look at the black, their starting point actually starting the same as the blue player, but as you can see that the black dot they actually keep increase until they reach this point that they're almost hitting the track, and then they decided to like spending a lot of time in here trying not to hit the track by keep decreasing, which leading to time wasting, which is why you can see that the blue player actually managed to finish first and in the fastest time and also in the same turn as the black. This is pretty much so. So basically, this is actually reaching the end of the racetrack game of what I'm actually doing. So thank you for listening. Hope you all had a great day.